There's good news and there's bad news about being in your 20s. The bad news is that you're alone. But the good news is that you're alone. Let's talk about it. Your 20s can feel like the best years of your life, but they can also feel like the most daunting. It can have the most room for mistakes, but also the most room for failure that can alter your life. It can feel like you're onto something all while feeling like you're not moving forward at all, like you're taking a step backwards. Everyone around you could be moving forward while you feel like you're stuck. Everyone around you could have a successful career when you feel like you've been doing the same job for years. And all of this can just make you feel rushed. And that's number one. The good news is that you're alone. If I just described you, then you're in the right place. I know that people don't really do intros on YouTube anymore, but I feel like an introduction is needed here. It's like a form of validation that I can give advice on 20-somethings. Hi, my name is Joey and I'm 27 years old and I've been doing the same job for the last 11 years. A long time. And I still fight this nice friend of mine called Imposter Syndrome every single night before bed. You know, I'm stuck asking myself, what am I doing? What am I doing with my life? What am I doing with my job? What is my purpose here? Am I good enough? And in my 2 self-help books that I wrote, I talk about the topics that, well, make me feel rushed in life. Everyone says that your 20s are for figuring it out, but I'm turning 28 this year. I don't have it figured out. And that means I only have 2 years left to figure it all out before I'm 30, and then I'm stuck. And this brings us to continue the list of what you clicked for. So number 2, you are not stuck. Feeling stuck is the biggest issue that I still have, and the issue that I have to constantly remind myself about. It could feel like you could be working out and not seeing any progress. Or like me, writing a book and feel like you're going nowhere. Or a student and studying and feel like you're still not going to do well on the test. But I'm here to tell you that that doesn't mean that you're not moving forward. However, there's also the other side. If you are not working out, you will not see progress. If I'm not writing, then I will never have a 4th book. And if you're not studying, well, you're never going to get good grades. Except if you were that one kid. There was always one kid that could like not study and just whiz through it all. I never liked that kid. I was jealous. But each piece of advice is so different to us because we have different lives and we could be that kid that gets straight A's without studying. And there's always a different perspective. Like maybe your progress isn't in the gym, but rather it's in the kitchen. Maybe you are studying but not seeing results. And these are all things that can make us feel stuck. But I can tell you from personal experience that with any effort, the fact that you tried something, there's always a grain of a reward. It might be small, but there's always something that pays off. And I say grain because sometimes it's just a good job from your mom or a nice little tip on a paycheck. An inch may not be a mile, but at least you're still moving forward. Oftentimes the reason why we feel stuck in our life is because, well, of the next one. 3, stop comparing. Easier said than done, no shit. Comparison is going to remove all the joy from your life and filter in this little syndrome. It's really fun. It's called imposter. I can make a video, post it, and get 1 million views and still go to bed thinking, why didn't the others get 1 million? I'm not worthy of people watching this. And it's not even that I get a bad comment. It's that when I look at other people's pages, I see they get 1 million views every single video. And it just happened to me once. But that's not to say that my videos aren't quality or they're not deserving, even though sometimes I feel that way. Solely because I removed the joy from myself and I put somebody else's experiences in the way of my own. If you find yourself constantly worrying and constantly comparing yourself to other people and you get lost in this overthinking thought that you're not worthy, I want you to count to 5. And when this happens, that's what I want you to do. I want you to count to 5. Give yourself 5 seconds to just let it out because there's no point in stopping yourself because you're going to do it anyways and then you're going to get stuck with this feeling of feeling stuck. So let's let it out and get by it. So I'll do it with you. 5. No one's going to watch this. So why am I even making it? They don't need life advice from someone that is stuck. 1. You see, allowing yourself to remove that negative energy from ourselves gives us more time to think clearly. And you could follow it up with something that you love. For example, I love to run. I also love to cook while wearing headphones. It's weird, but I don't know. I tune in or playing video games. But allow yourself to let it out for even just 5 seconds and then move on from that. Now, number 4, don't ignore money. It's so easy to ignore that you don't have the funds and then buy something anyways and just deal with it later. Do you know how easy it is to do that? It almost seems easier to not do your taxes and then that letter comes in the mail and then your mom yells at you and she's like, why didn't you do them? I told you to do this. I told you. For some reason, that almost seems easier to be yelled at, to be told that I was wrong because I feel wrong. But maybe it's because we're so used to not feeling good enough so that when it comes to finances, we don't even want to try because we were never taught that in school. I was never taught that in school. So allow me to be blunt. Money doesn't just show up. There's no way that I know your financial situation and there's no way that you know mine. One time there was an article written about me that I made $126 million. American. As a Canadian, that's a lot of money. But the one thing that I do know is that understanding your finances is scary, and you're probably bored at this part of the video because you don't want to acknowledge it. I get that. I was there, but it can save your life. We live in a world where money matters. Money's king. And finances can cause a lot of stress. It can break and end relationships. But if you take the time to learn, track, or even just understand finances just even a fraction more than what you do now, then you won't be scared. And I don't mean start drop shipping or gambling your life away just because you saw one TikTok video. I mean to calculate your monthly budget, know what's coming in and what's going out. You know, your groceries, your car, your phone bill, your utilities, your miscellaneous expenses. And those times where you go with your friends and you have 3 drinks. And we all know once you hit 3 drinks, the bill just keeps going because the drinks keep flowing. And what was a $20 night now turns into $100. And you don't have that $100. But it didn't matter because at the time you were having fun. It's just going to appear. That's not fun in the future you. And I don't do anything crazy. I just made a spreadsheet. It's so lame, but it works. But my point to this is that finances take discipline. And they don't wait for anyone. 5, exercise. No, don't roll your eyes at me. Don't do this. I know from the analytics that most of you watch these videos while sitting on your couch watching TV. It's kind of scary how much info they give me. But don't get me wrong, right now as you're watching this video, maybe leaving a little comment, I'm replying to that comment while sitting on my couch. But I can tell you this, if I sit here for too long, my body is gonna hate me. If I go a day without exercising in some capacity, I feel so much stress, I feel so much anxiety, my mood is off, I don't eat right, nothing. I'm just left with no fuel and I'm tired, and then the next day comes and I'm still tired with no fuel. I have no energy, and then I'm like, well, a workout's not gonna help me because I don't feel energetic enough to work out and move my body. And then that cycle happens, and then I keep repeating myself. And it seems, working out, it's gonna tire us out. Right? Why would we work out? We're trying to feel more energetic, but that's going to make us tired. But it's actually what's going to make you feel more alive. For me, it's what gives me strength for tomorrow. If you've watched this channel or listened to my podcast over the years, then you know that I stick to my HENS: hydration, exercise, nutrition, and sleep. And the way that this works for me is that if I have my hydration on track and I drink my 3 liters of water every single day, it's going to give that room in my stomach to grow. So then I'm gonna feel better and I'm gonna be able to eat and I'm gonna have that nutrition. But the way that I get that nutrition and feel hungry and feel like I need hydration and to drink that 3 liters of water, well, I need to exercise. And I've exercised now, which means I'm gonna be a little bit more tired. I'm gonna be full, I'm gonna be hydrated, and I'm gonna get a better sleep. It's all connected. And it's going to make you feel a lot better. If you think, well, I didn't do anything today, I just sat on the couch and watched YouTube because this random guy made me feel stuck because I was comparing my life to other people. And my financials in the toilet, and now I'm not going to be able to sleep because I'm stuck overthinking. To that, I say go exercise. And if that's offensive to you, then you're hearing it wrong. Move the body that was given to you in a way that makes you feel happy. And it's going to set yourself up for a wonderful tomorrow. 6. Don't fully invest into anyone else. So much change happens in our 20s. And it's change that no one can plan for. Change that alters our lives completely. And I know you're going to think this is selfish, but I think that you should put yourself first. Because the right people will fit back into the puzzle no matter what stage you're at. Date, fall in love, move in with friends, do whatever you want to do where your body is guiding you. But don't stop your change for anyone else. And don't change for anyone. Change for yourself, and the ones that you love will change alongside with you in your own way. It is not your duty to change them with you. And lastly, number 7. Do you remember that quote that I said earlier in the video? Everyone says that your 20s are for figuring it out, but I'm turning 28 this year. I don't have it figured out. Everyone always says that your 20s are for figuring it out. I don't believe this for a second. And neither should you. Your 20s are for trying new things, for changing and adapting to school, relationships, life, heartbreak, whatever comes your way. But there's one thing that your 20s are not. Your 20s are not for figuring it out. Because your entire life is.